tell us what it was like to be a high producer, the anxiety of wife and kids, raising a young family, but knowing that you had to be true to that and knowing that you had to pivot. Take us inside of that if you could.
Sure. Well, thanks for saying all that. I don't feel all that great about myself, but I admire that, or I love the fact that you think of me in that light. I'll say that you played a huge role through the whole process. And just to be, completely candid, I never knew the success that I had. And it's people like you that have constantly spoken to my life. So I remember the day that I wanted to be a pastor. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't care about money. And I found myself in an industry where I was making good money. And at that point, we've had 4 kids. My wife's been at home for 10 years, and I'm 15 years on the job. And pastoring my employees. I had about 100 salespeople and finance people under me, and my crew was the most important thing to me. And so, as a person who was trying to find a way to bring meaning into my world and into my life, my constant talks with you helped me to see that, hey, I'm not just doing this job for money. I am living a purpose. I can remember you and I sharing stories about some of my finance guys and them going through divorces and them going through custody battles and going through problems. And we, just being there, me being there as their boss and their friend, helped them to continue through those things. And I always came to you with those, man, I got a guy struggling with this. What should I tell him? Well, I remember the day like it was yesterday that I was at work and one of my finance guys told me how much I have meant to his family and how much I have been just such a blessing to his family and his kids and wife. And I remember the feeling, and I think I may have even called you that day and said, Raj, I'm on cloud 9, man. It just, I felt incredible about where I was in life. And I got home that night and I'm sitting across the table from my then 14-year-old, my oldest, and she is staring down at her phone, and I hear a voice in my spirit say, your daughter is a complete stranger to you. And I was so confused because I had just called you to brag about how great my life was and how awesome of a boss I was and a mentor and how great my employees love me. And the next thing I heard is, you mean more to your employees than you do to your kids. And so talk about 90 to nothing instantly. And I knew it was time to make a change. And, that's where through our talks and just your encouragement, I've been able to realize that it's not about my job that I was in. The fact that I've been able to produce highly and could be applied to any industry. And so I walked away from that job after 15 years and started in a different industry where I knew nothing, but applied the same arithmetic that got me where I was and continued to be mentored and allowed myself to be taught. I think that's a big key is to be willing to be taught. And I maintain that attitude. And now I'm number 11 in my industry and my company. I'm number 11 in the country, which is, out of people nationwide, with much bigger markets than Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it's only my second year doing the job. So I work when I work from home. I'm with my kids every day, all day. I couldn't be happier.